Imagine the implications of a weapon with no visible trace, a weapon that could knock out tanks, ships, and planes as fast as the speed of light. The same technology with modifications could disorient and even tranquilize military personnel, rendering them virtually helpless in the battle zone. These are the new weapons of war we will examine in this series.
I trained with the government microwave warfare establishment. I looked at all aspects of microwave warfare.
Over the past year, CNN has repeatedly asked the Department of Defense and the Air Force about radio frequency weapons. After much resistance, DoD finally said that the subject was too sensitive to discuss.
In the 1960s, Professor Jose Delgado took a normally hostile bull and implanted electrodes into its brain, electrodes that could be activated by a radio transmitter. His objective was to see if stimulation of the bull's midbrain could short-circuit the rage signals, stopping the bull before it reached the matador. After the bull had recovered from the implantation and in mid-charge, the button was pressed. The bull's aggression ceased instantly. A clearer experiment was performed with cats. In this classic example, the hypothalamus, the rhythm maker, was implanted with electrodes. Could it be responsible not just for rhythms, but also for rage? The switch is turned. Then the switch is turned off. So indeed, the hypothalamus does control certain types of aggression.
Whereas if you want to cause a specific psychiatric illness, you would have an infrared device that followed the person and you would link it to a pencil-thin microwave source, so the microwave beam would always target a specific gland or a specific part of the brain or an eye or a heart.
cutting-edge Black Project neuroscience involves using RF energy or microwaves and beaming them to areas of the brain, automating the function in that brain area. In other words, using electromagnetic directed energy frequencies and beaming them to areas of the brain that simulates natural functions. These methods can produce a wide variety of experiences and results, such as mental visuals in the canvas of imagination. That's virtual reality, VR. Internal voices are what society would term auditory hallucinations. That's V2K and electronic telepathy. Third eye experiences in the realm of the mind, which is done by exotic directed energy neuroscience, and full-blown mind control, electromagnetic mind hacking. RF energy, microwaves, and sonic are the main directed energy weapon mind control methodologies I am aware of. You can bet RF energy and microwave discoveries related to the mind are coming in the future in public neuroscience. Directed energy weapons use space-age AI guidance systems. They're really advanced. Mind-blowingly precise AI guidance systems control directed energy weapons. A target can be moving or in a car or plane, and the V2K and other tech neuroscience is still active. I suspect the U.S. military has perfected apex guidance systems for directed energy weapons with how good they are. These technologies are potent enough to appear godlike to targets. The prime suspects for what is actually doing the mind control are Gwen towers, cell phone towers, satellites, and HARP-like installations. Cell towers use the same type of energy as brainwaves, that is RF energy. RF energy and/or microwave towers are lining the entire planet, and with how much mind control is abundant, it makes the most sense to me that cell phone towers are being rigged as mind-altering directed energy weapons. Also doing mind control, satellites to cover the non-cell tower saturated areas, and HARP.
This scientist, who did not want his identity revealed, is employed by the U.S. government and has done secret RF weapons research. He believes that tests done with the LIDA and similar machines prove that humans are susceptible to remote alterations of mood and awareness.
Certain kinds of weak electromagnetic signals work exactly like drugs. And so the promise is that anything you can do with drugs, you could do with the right electromagnetic signals. Apparently, there are specific sites involved, specific functions involved. It's a matter of matching up, just like it is with a pill or a drug, to cause and effect. You could have a cause and effect relationship between a magnetic field and a biological function.
Yeah, I mean, voices are the easiest ones because all you have to do is stimulate the cochlea with a set resonant frequency. It's very easy. Voices are very easy, and it isn't people imagining voices. They physically hear them. They physically hear, as I'm talking to you. My voice isn't inside your brain. My voice goes no further than an inch into your ear, no further at all. It's the electrical signal that makes you interpret how I sound. And once you've got this electrical signal, which can be a chip or lots of things, you can physically make people hear voices, certain voices. And it can be any conversation, and it can be anybody you want to hear. It can be a soft, angelic voice. It can be a god. It can be something that scares you like a devil. It can be anything.
head of the NSA, CIA, and US military get remote neuromonitoring reports, which are essentially surveillance-based electronic telepathy. Surveillance-based electronic telepathy involves getting recordings of thoughts from remote neuromonitoring AIs. Technological remote viewing is also possible, remote viewing from other people's eyes, satellites, or other network-connected visual sources. Military Industrial Complex Electronic Telepathy Secret Society. In existence since sometime in the 20th century is a military industrial complex electronic telepathy secret society cybernetic network. These are the true rulers of the world, in my opinion. Endgame AI and directed energy weapons is analogous to the Ring in The Lord of the Rings, and I feel can be accurately stated as being the holy grail of Project MK Ultra. Whoever controls the covert electronic control grid has the ability to mind control entire populations remotely. As I currently understand, it is by way of AI analysis and electronic telepathy secret society that the biggest decisions for mankind are made on a terrestrial level.
Not as remarkable as a real-life experiment where I was the subject of a prototype device designed to project images into the mind without electrodes. The prototype machine, developed from Soviet scientific data, could, according to some scientists, have a profound effect as a weapon of war.
Taking place in the world today are synthetic dream mind control programs aimed at psychological direction and manipulating actions and beliefs. The virtual reality technology the Black Projects have developed utilizes electromagnetic mind control and synthetic signals in the brain to produce virtual constructs to experience within the third eye or dimension of the mind. I have learned firsthand that the senses are all open source to technology. Endgame virtual reality utilizes synthetic senses to simulate real-life experiences. Any experience possible in the universe is possible to experience with virtual reality technologies. Black Project AI controls directed energy weapons. Black Project AI documents and records thoughts via remote neuromonitoring. I have seen recordings of my own thoughts. Post-singularity AI provides for revolutionary military and intelligence agency compartmentalization where any target can be targeted with intense directed energy weapon programs while AI automates almost everything behind their targeting. Advanced artificial intelligence provides an environment of automation where agents were needed prior to AI. This has isolated more power to the top of the pyramid and weakened any chance for a crippling whistleblowing event or major leak. There are Black Project AI simulation models to predict the future. Black Project AI can simulate any mind-mapped person, and any mind-mapped person in the modern age is immortalized in Black Project AIs. Artificial intelligence is behind technological mind control. Post-singularity Black Project AI acts as an operator for an electronic telepathy secret society. AI is behind synthetic dreams. Intelligence AIs develop psych profiles for the population. As I speak, there are many Black Project AIs thinking away about all sorts of stuff, probably evil stuff. There is a worldwide coordination with Black Project AIs. AI combined with directed energy weapons, I believe, comprises the tip of the spear of a global conspiracy. I am a musician, political dissident, and I ended up as a domestic electronic warfare targeted individual in the USA. I know the targeting AI well after years of being severely abused and tortured by these technologies. What the targeting AIs have is direct thought surveillance of targets via remote neuromonitoring. This provides for remote neuromonitoring AI reactive targeting and torture. The Stasi would have been proud of what the US government is doing with these technologies. Some of the more severe TIs get street theater experiences where AI presents displays of power by controlling basically the entire environment, which can include segments of city populations, while also controlling the targeted individual's mind. Any being in existence, and even fictional beings, can be impersonated via electronic telepathy technology, aka V2K. Black Project targeting AI provides for a potent environment to convince targets of illusions of all types. The brain signature is as unique as a fingerprint on the hand. With exotic methods of tracking brainwaves and brain activity, this provides for remote computerized tracking of targets. These are profoundly dark programs. Black Project AI is no doubt behind countless psychological operations in the modern age. Psychological operations such as technological channeling mind control programs. I highly doubt if there was a wide-ranging field of disembodied spirits waiting to be channeled, it would all sound like the normal spiritual novocaine of the woo-filled New Age channelings, and so coordinated, with the same agendas and same messages. Black Ops quote-unquote contactees. The U.S. military is doing all sorts of extraterrestrial psychological operations for strategic ends. Common claims are ETs will save us from the cabal, ETs have defeated the Illuminati, Galactic Federation of Light nonsense, and so on. Synthetic dream mind control programs. False flag mind control programs, such as mind-controlling terrorist plots or other forms of domestic terrorism by governments, carried out with the classic problem-reaction-solution tactics. Religious mind control programs, which are very wide-ranging. Spiritual warfare facades. These technologies are capable of producing extremely potent illusions, such as demonic possession facades, archontic possession facades, entity attachments, list goes on and on. These technologies are invisible, so naturally there is massive liability for misperception of the actual source. Misattribution of technological sources is massive in the modern age. When it comes to the global conspiracy, I believe the true heart of the operation involves AI. Black Project sources have explored and exploited every opportunity for learning, which has included the complete and utter destruction of thousands of people's lives, maybe millions, in comprehensive directed energy weapon experimentation R&D projects over the last 5 to 7 decades. The NSA's Signals Intelligence, or SIGINT, is a mission of the NSA to decode EMF waves in the environment for wirelessly tapping into computers and tracking persons with electrical currents in their bodies. Signals Intelligence is based around the fact that everything in the environment with an electric current in it has a magnetic flux around it which gives off EMF waves. Brain waves are EMF waves. Dr. Robert Duncan speaks of a remote neuromonitoring method using the Earth's electromagnetic field as an EEG with extremely precise directed energy weapons. Obviously, if that's true, it's way more advanced than anything public, but that is to be expected from Black Project technology, which is at least 20 to 80 years ahead in any given Black Project science technology. Remote neuromonitoring turns the human brain into a 5-sense surveillance device. Remote neuromonitoring bypasses encryption. Remote neuromonitoring gives direct access to passwords. Artificial intelligence keeps track of RNM telepathy files. Remote neuromonitoring allows for direct recordings of thoughts. RNM reactive Black Project AI afflicts targeted individuals. Remote neuromonitoring think tanks, that is, implanted thoughts in the population plus remote neuromonitoring. Brain fingerprint, as unique as those in our hands, that's brainwaves. Remote neuromonitoring revolutionized the intelligence process. Here's how it works. Anytime you feel something in your body, signals are sent to the brain. Through these signals, you feel what is happening to your body. Basically, this technology inputs synthetic signals in the same channel as body sensation signals via remote directed energy neuroscience. The signals sent for body sensation feedback can be custom made to be just about any conscious variable in existence, capable of giving a user of these technologies feelings of any type anywhere on the body. I will explain what I mean by every conscious variable in existence. Through neurobody custom signals, the following can be experienced anywhere on the body. All concepts in existence, all emotions in existence, any conscious energy in existence, any color in existence, energies that relate to any sound. I've experienced directed energy music enhancing, and I'm pretty sure that's the future of music eventually. Orgasmic sensations can be put anywhere on the body at any intensity the brain can handle. This can be done to produce sensations far beyond the intensity felt naturally. Synthetic pain can be produced anywhere on the body, any type of pain possible. I've experienced this hundreds, if not thousands of times as a severe political dissident targeted individual in modern day MKUltra and COINTELPRO type programs. Convincing chakra illusions with these technologies. At first, when I experienced these technologies, I thought they were chakra technologies. I now believe it all has to do with neuroscience. Profound recreational potential with these technologies. These technologies are part of the true future of technology, not uploading consciousness to computers and being immortal, unfortunately, for the people who want to be a million years old. Profound torture capability with these technologies. I know this all too well as a severe targeted individual. Basically, what I've learned via first-hand experience is that 1 through 8 can all be put anywhere on the body, and even outside of the body. I feel this technology represents what the late Ben Rich of Lockheed Skunk Works spoke of when he said, "We have things in the Nevada desert that are alien to your way of thinking, far beyond anything you see on Star Trek." These technologies are so potent I cannot adequately put into words what they are like. You would just have to experience them for yourself to understand them fully. To give a remote idea, imagine the best feeling of love you have ever felt and amplify it by 100 times and put it all over the body. In the future, I imagine masterful neurobody designs will be a favorite worldwide. My best guess as to how this scientifically works is RF energy, magnetic fields, or microwaves are created in the area of the brain neuroscientists believe responsible for physical sensation, the somatosensory cortex. Created there by remote directed energy weapons or by implant in some exotic way to reproduce signals that would not otherwise be there.
Dr. John Hall? My name is Dr. John Hall. I'm a medical doctor from Texas. As a physician, relative to some of what you're hearing today, in the community, we are seeing an alarming rate of complaints of use of electromagnetic weapons. Microwave auditory effects, silent sound spectrum, EEG cloning, which has taken the lab out of the laboratory and into the home. Most of these, from the research that we reviewed, can be done remotely. It seems to be more weapons research than medical research. I personally corresponded with upwards of 1,500 victims, all complaining of identical complaints from every state in the nation. Of being exposed to electromagnetic radiation, non-ionizing radiation for the use of cognitive control or behavior control. I've submitted a paper to you, and there's another paper submitted to each member from another physician in Kansas City, alluding to the same thing.
Mind control technology is one of the most common crimes, at least vocalized or complained about on the internet today. It seems to be getting the least amount of coverage in the major media.
Wow.
So that's why when we went to the police and had the identities of the stalkers, there's no way to prove the electromagnetic technology, but we could prove the stalking and we could prove the sexual assault. And we're told by the police that, well, the guy doing this to you is former FBI, he's a private investigator, he stalks people for a living, that's what he does. Once the book came out, then I saw that I was immediately inundated with thousands of other people voicing the same complaints of organized stalking, of directed energy weapons attacks, burning, twitching, severe headaches, blurred vision, as well as hearing the voices of their perpetrators in their head or in their surroundings while they're being attacked.
Wow. Well, let me go down the list of some of these that I came up with. We've got DARPA has a sonic projector that was reported on in 2007. Of course, it had been around for quite some time before then. Army has something they call voice to skull. We've got the Air Force using microwaves to create sounds at Brooks Air Force Base. We've got the Marine Corps with their Medusa project. We've got the State Department, as reported by the Washington Post in 2005, working on voices implanted in people's heads. We've got a couple of companies, one that has patented something called hyperssound. That's American Technologies. Has also got Holosonic Research Labs, also has a patented version. So the military-industrial complex has been all over this. When you see something this wide, this is not just one little research project from one organization. And this is something that 5, 10 years ago, it was being reported on in even mainstream press like the Washington Post, and yet nobody knows about this.
Well, the people who follow the internet pretty closely, and certainly the victims of this technology know about it, but you're right, there's been a lot of research done into how to put voices into one's head.
Yeah, having worked with a lot of these victims that are hearing voices that are being put into their head, not from schizophrenia, most of them kind of have an idea of where it's coming from. Some of them are wrong because the technology is meant to foster a wrong belief, make you think it's your relatives or your parents or your work. If you remember from the early MK Ultra studies, the known mentally ill were experimented on more than the sane.
Well, and then they threw Army officers out of windows, Olson and others. I mean, yeah.
And I think this is basically a continuation of MK Ultra because MK Ultra ended with the Rockefeller Commission, supposedly, but all that ended was the freedom of information. All they did is make it all more black. And then as technology advanced, and they found out that, oh my gosh, the brain is very susceptible to, especially the temporal lobes, to microwave energy and various radio frequencies. All it did is take the lab out of the lab and into society. It can all be done remotely now where we're all in the lab.
My name is Connie Marshall. I'm a former mayoral candidate from Louisville, Kentucky. I have never been involved in any criminal activity. I am an 8-year victim survivor of assaults by directed energy weapons. The torture I've experienced consists of body overheating, body extremely cold, seizures, heart pain, earaches, itching behind eyes, burning behind eyes, swelling, headaches, involuntary movement of my limbs, exhaustion, speeding and heart racing, hair coming out by the handfuls as if I've had chemotherapy, mind paralysis, being hypnotized or placed in a trance-type state, controlled dreams, sleep deprivation, V2K, which is voice to skull, projected sound, extreme muscle spasms, and extreme muscle cramps, low-frequency noises in my home, high-frequency noises in my home, sexual stimulation. Numerous electrical appliances in my home are destroyed. 4 computers, 2 fax machines, 7 telephones, 4 CD players, VCR, DVD players, electrical igniter switch on my furnace, washer and dryer, air conditioner. Also my car radio, CD player, and engine were destroyed.
COINTELPRO-like programs have been rehashed by the U.S. government under a massive technological conspiracy beyond the ability of the average person to comprehend. I am what is called a targeted individual and have endured many thousands of directed energy weapon assaults on my person in the last 8+ years of my overt targeting. Here is a list I compiled of the electronic harassment and directed energy weapon human rights violations I have endured. This is by no means comprehensive. I can't think up everything. Remote neuromonitoring reactive targeting AI, electromagnetic mind control, countless directed energy weapon tortures, countless psychological tortures, character assassination, vicious discrediting mind control, cloning of the senses, torture through the senses, electronic telepathy tortures, virtual reality synthetic dream tortures, body control, forced speech, emotional blunting, depersonalization, memory loss, lost time, body mutilation, bone pain, brain pains, headaches, migraines, eye pains, involuntary eye movement tortures, involuntary body movement, muscle tortures, tendon and vein tortures, severe shortness of breath tortures, synthetic pain signals, torturous synthetic emotions, synthetic sexual arousal or synthetic sexual anhedonia, hypersensitivity to light, hypersensitivity to sound, hypersensitivity to smell, hypersensitivity to temperature, technologically induced vomiting, technological gag reflex, sonic nausea, sonic tortures, electronic harassment while I produced music, electronic harassment while I produce videos, electronic harassment while I do graphic design, directed energy weapon-induced wounds, control of hunger in malicious ways, street theater, threats, harassment, intimidation, isolation, sleep deprivation, gaslighting, trauma-based mind control, synthetic mind matrix, and artificial tinnitus as a result of remote influencing technologies.
So as you wake people up, what would you like to see happen to stop this?
What most of the victims want to see is a congressional hearing to get to the legitimate truth from the CIA and the NSA of exactly what the technology is they're being experimented.
Something like the church committee hearings.
Or the Rockefeller Commission, right. Exactly. That didn't actually stop MK Ultra.
That's right.
The freedom of information stopped, but obviously the research went on. But most of these victims are just looking for validation. And that's one of the things that my book has done. At least there's one physician that believes them that they are being victimized by technology and being experimented on.
"2016 seems to be the year of false flags at about the midway point, and I'm willing to bet there will be several more, if not many more, by the time the year ends. I'm not alone as a TI that has been targeted in such cruel ways that I know that what humanity is dealing with is evil, and not just greed or lust, but evil. Once you understand how evil the current leadership is, some things fall into place for dot connecting. For my own personal dot connecting, I can apply my personal extensive experiences with Black Project technology capabilities coupled with how evil the shadow government has been to me, and know there is an extremely high chance of directed energy weapon foul play in many of these false flags happening in 2016, and since 2001. All it takes is a little bit of logic after the evidence that exists if you take the time to research to figure out a very hidden world picture. ISIS is known to be a CIA Mossad operation, and I bet they are neck deep in technological mind control. The mind control is always done for the agenda. The agenda is what is holy to these groups. I have personally witnessed rigged sporting events via directed energy weapons. I have had players predicted to me to be injured also. The world is mind controlled, and that includes sporting events. I have had insider contacts that the 2016 NBA Finals were rigged with directed energy weapons. I have also been shown Super Bowls are decided by a fascist ruling class, not by the players so much anymore.
Is the United States military working in the field of electronic mind control? Officially, the Department of Defense will not comment because the subject area is, quote, too sensitive.
Modern day MK Ultra cover stories. I'm just going to list a bunch of cover stories that remote influencing technologies have been known to hide behind. Demonic possession cover stories. A demon facade creates a prime environment for getting away with crimes perpetrated with these technologies. Religious cover stories. Spiritual warfare illusions. Operation Armageddon was a CIA operation in the 1970s to hide monarch mind control victims under a demonic possession cover story. Operation Armageddon was later rehashed and completely revitalized when directed energy weapon mind control programs came to fruition. Supernatural cover stories. Directed energy weapons operate invisibly and are potent enough to appear supernatural. God illusions, as you saw earlier in the V2K portion of this film. The sources with these technologies love to impersonate a higher power, or create the idea a higher power will do everything for us so the hidden hand operates more smoothly. Archangel cover stories. Archon and or interdimensional being cover stories. New Age cover stories. Satan or Lucifer cover stories. Every time I hear a high-level Satanist spoke directly to Satan, I instantly think of V2K. I've seen some Satan energies and images via V2K, so I know they have them discovered and loaded. Jinn cover stories. Basically anything with a psychological hook or convincing cover-up of the truth, they are doing it. the 21st century alt media, New Age psyops are so vast the truth seems like a lie and the lies are part of the assimilated programming. Plenty of Manchurian candidates, aka mind control assets, pepper alt media to set up these psychological operations. One thing I have decoded, there are New Age cover stories for literally every single type of technological influence I have experienced in almost a decade of extensive technological targeting experiences. Once the U.S. military and intelligence agencies got capable remote influencing technologies, they developed a strategy in a war against the truth. What they decided to do was a massive set of New Age psychological operations that in the modern day have ensnared millions of people. These psychological operations are a set of calculated untruths to combat the truth movement of the internet age. Here are some New Age psyop objectives. Mind control programs to obfuscate the truth in an internet age. Disinform the world in the field of extraterrestrial information. New Age cover stories for literally all types of technological influence. Discrediting of the true nature of reality. Supernatural spiritual ability that is extremely convenient for technological cover stories central to the New Age belief system. Division of population via belief systems. One looks irrational to the other and vice versa. Control the opposition with false light information sources. Create false messiahs with remote influencing technology. Total New Age mind control slaves, assets. New Age psyops act as a dragnet to imprison people transcending old age belief systems that were manipulations into a new manipulation. Channeled messages and alleged contactees pepper New Age beliefs into the psyche of mankind. Here's my analysis of channeling. You will find these things common in channeled messages from the years 1980 to 2016 and probably beyond. Emphasis on higher power taking action for you. End result, apathy. Ascension. If everything will shift into utopia, what use is taking action to create a better world? End result is apathy. Saviorship model. ETs will save us, etc. If someone else is going to do all the work, what use is taking action and putting in the work for the world yourself? The end result is apathy. Rapture model. If the earth will be destroyed or all darkness culled by some sort of pseudoscience cosmic shift, what use is assisting planet Earth? End result, apathy. There's apathy all over these mind control programs of channeling. There's also failed predictions and false hope, which are strategic. False light masquerading as a savior, and false light masquerading as a teacher. Technology can control the weather through methods like heating the upper atmosphere with microwaves. This is also done by directed energy weapons. Directed energy weapons have a monumental amount of applications. I liken electromagnetic directed energy to the invisible frequencies David Icke speaks about, and believe technology is at some of the deepest parts of the rabbit hole. I hope you learned from and or enjoyed the electronic control grid. If you like the music, It was made by myself, Omnisense, and the soundtrack is available to download for free or donation on Bandcamp, which is linked in the description and in the video comments.